Hey everybody, this is Bill. I am the salty old Marine. I have here a decision letter. Just got it from the VA, Department of Veterans Affairs, Evidence Intake Center, blah, blah, blah. It's a thick envelope, and it tells me something I already know, which is, in this case, the results of my recent high-level review. But whether it was a high-level review or any type of a VA disability claim, the stack of paperwork that you get is the same, pretty much. So I wanted to take a minute and kind of go through what you find in a decision letter and why it's important, why you want to take some time to actually read through it. Again, this is for an HLR, a high-level review, but it could have been for any type of claim. And the information in here can be very generic. So let's go through it, shall we? So, first of all, it says, we made a decision on your VA benefits. So we made a decision on your VA benefits. This letter will guide you through the information you should know and steps you may take now that the VA has made a decision about your benefits. So the very first thing, bullet point item, right up front, your benefit information. And here's the part that you care about, at least at first. Evaluation of post-traumatic stress disorder, which is currently 50% disabling, is increased to 70% effective, and then it has the date. That's the part you care about, right? So you rip open the envelope and you read that, and it's either good news or it's bad news. Either your claim was denied, or your claim was approved, or your request for increase was denied or approved, or whatever, right? But that's the part you read, and then you go, and you put the rest of it away, or you toss it in the trash in disgust, and that's the end of that. Well, it shouldn't be. It should not be. So let's explain. All right, so you got the important part. Boom, right out of the way, right up front. The very next line says, if you need assistance, and it talks about calling the 800 number, 800-827-1000, or visit the VA website to locate the Benefits Administration, blah, blah, blah. VA provides free mental health and physical and mental and physical health conditions, blah, blah, blah. So boilerplate, right? Not terribly important. Okay. What you should do if you disagree with our decision. Aha! This is important. Here it is, second page. What you should do if you disagree with our decision. If you do not agree with our decision, you have 1 year from the date of this letter. Not 1 year from the date you filed, but 1 year from the date of the decision letter. To select a review option to protect your initial filing date for effective date purposes. What does that mean? It means if you file a review, appeal, if you file an appeal and it's successful, it will be backdated to your original effective date, the date you filed your claim. So if you do this within 1 year, you are preserving that date for pay purposes in case you should win. Excuse me. Allergies today, just killing me. So then it says what you can do. What are your options? My options are a supplemental claim, a higher level review, an appeal to the Board of Veterans Appeals, the BVA. Now, in my case, a higher level review is not available to me. That's because this is the result of a higher level review. You can't do a higher level review to a higher level review. That's just not allowed in the rules. But I could still, if I had disagreed with this decision, I don't, but if I had, I could still file a supplemental claim and add additional new evidence that would hopefully prove I was supposed to be rated even higher. I could also appeal to the BVA. So those options are still available to me, and the higher level review is available to anyone who's just filing an initial claim. All right, so we flip through this. It talks about how much is the payment and the fact that I have a dependent, I have a spouse. It talks about things like government life insurance, armed forces commissary and exchange privileges, payment for travel if you have to go to a C&P exam. So yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's all boilerplate. You don't really care about this. Where to send your correspondence. It gives some addresses for compensation benefits, Board of Veteran Appeals, fiduciary if you're unable to control your own finances anymore, that sort of thing. Don't laugh, it can happen, right? So it has a Veterans Crisis line, dial 988, then press 1 if you're in crisis. You should do that. Once again, it gives you your right to seek review of our decision. And this is great, guys. This is good stuff. It's a repeat of what you just saw, but it's in huge format, and it shows it three swim lanes: supplemental claim, higher level review, Board of Veteran Appeals. It's even got scanning things here, right? Those little codes that you can scan with your phone if you're all hip and cool like I'm not, and it'll take you right to the right page to do that. I mean, that's pretty awesome. But here's the meat and potatoes, guys. This is the part that most people don't read, and they should. It looks like this, starting out. I'm just going to cover my name there. It looks like this. And this contains the information that you need. Whether your claim was successful or whether it was unsuccessful, whether it was denied or approved. You need this information. First of all, you should keep this for your records anyway. But second of all, you really need to read this. Read it. I'm just begging you to read it. And the reason I'm being so emphatic on this is I've talked to so many veterans online that have said exactly, almost verbatim, the same thing. My claim was denied and I don't know why. It's in here. You do know why. You just didn't read it, or maybe you read it and didn't understand it, and that's a different question. We're going to help you with that. But yeah, it's in here. They're not going to just deny it and not tell you anything. I have had veterans tell me to my face that I never got anything like that. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not the expert of all experts, but I've got like a dozen of these now, and they all had this. I don't know what to tell you. Talk to a VSO. Maybe they can pull down a copy of it, is all I can say. Maybe at one time they didn't do these. I don't know. But for the past several years, yes, they do. Okay, let's get back into it. The records reflect you're a veteran of the peacetime. You served in the Marine Corps from February 23rd, 1981 to April 13th, 1984. By the way, those dates are wrong. I enlisted in 1979. I went to boot camp in 79. But it is what it is. They are not always accurate with this stuff. I could get this corrected, but I don't know if it's that big of a deal. Okay, so here's the meat and potatoes. Evidence of post-traumatic stress disorder, which is currently 50% disabling, is increased to 70% effective blah, blah, blah date. And then it goes through the reasons, okay? And it says, the overall evidentiary record shows that severity of your disability most closely approximates the criteria for 70% disability evaluation. And it lists in bullet points the reasons why. I'm not going to read those. All right. It also says very, very clearly, and if a higher evaluation for 100% is not warranted for a mental disorder unless the evidence shows total occupational and social impairment due to such symptoms as, and then it lists those as bullet points. Now, I have to say that in my case, this is accurate. I am in no way would in no way be correctly rated for 100%. That's not my situation at all. It might be yours, it might be others, but it's not mine. If it were, I would read through this list of bulleted items and I would say, hey, wait a minute, I have all these things. And then I'd start thinking about appealing. Okay, so this is the important part. This is the part you absolutely must read and understand. I read it and I said, yeah, I don't have any of this, so 100% would not be the correct rating for me. I am now correctly rated for my PTSD. Fantastic. That was the goal. But if I had these things, then I would be saying, oh, wait a minute. I got to change this because it's not right. I am in the 100% category according to these criteria. So that's why you have to read this, my friends. You must read it. And it says right here, references, Title 38 of the Code of Federal Regulations. Title 38, CFR. I talk about this all the time. Pensions, bonuses, veterans relief contains the regulations for the Department of Veteran Affairs which govern entitlement to all veteran benefits. It's all there. You have to read it. You have to make sure you understand it. Okay. Now, going back to this again. This thing is either going to say your claim was approved, your claim was denied, your appeal was approved, your appeal was denied, and it's going to say why. And you need to know this information because what you do next is going to be very important. And you're going to want to base it off what they tell you right here. If they tell you your claim was denied because no evidence of an in-service event, well, there's the information you need to get your claim corrected, right? You'll say, well, wait a minute. Of course there's evidence of an in-service event. Well, they didn't see it. So if it's in the record and they just missed it, time for a higher level review. If it's not in the record, but you have the information and you can submit it, time for a supplemental. You can put that in there and explain, okay, sorry, didn't give you the original information about that in-service event. Here it is now, right? They might say, no evidence of a current disability. Did you go out and get a diagnosis for your claim? So you say, okay, I had the in-service event and I have, I don't know, migraines. Great, where's your diagnosis of migraines? Well, I just have them. No, that's not that's not a current diagnosis. And if it says no current diagnosis, that's what you're missing. That's what you should be appealing on. Say, okay, well, I didn't get a current diagnosis. I'll go and get a current diagnosis, and I'll submit that as part of a supplemental appeal. Boom, you put that in there, and you may win your claim at that basis. On that basis, the third thing that you might see in a letter like this for a reason for denial is lack of nexus, meaning they found the in-service event. They found the current diagnosis. They don't see a connection between the two on an at least as likely as not basis, right? So if that information is missing, those are the three legs of the stool, then your claim may get denied. And if it gets denied, again, you'll get a decision letter in the mail. It will say why it was denied. It was denied because no in-service event. It was denied because no current diagnosis. It was denied because no nexus, no connection between the two, or all of those things, or some of those things. But in any case, it's going to tell you. You must read it. You must understand it. Get some help if you need to. And then you can file your supplemental claim or your higher level review based on that information. So you must have this. If your claim is denied, it's very important that you read it, understand it, and then you can take action. I'm Bill. I am the Salty Old Marine. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment. Tell me about your experience. When you get these in the mail, does that fill you with dread? Does it give you information that you need? Tell me all about it. And as always, have a great day.